All right, let's talk Proverbs chapter 7, which is all about, really, it's about adultery, but I'm going to relate this to temptation and to cheerleading. So listen in. I wanted to do this as a live stream, but I didn't quite figure out how to do that from my phone. So here we go. It's recorded. If you don't know me, I'm Laura Turner. I'm a physical therapist. I'm a strength coach, and I help cheerleaders improve performance and reduce injuries through exercise programs. Let's talk about temptation, impulsivity, and my big takeaway from chapter 7 in Proverbs, which was don't chase shiny objects. Instead, chase wisdom and understanding. So how does that relate to cheerleading? Wisdom and understanding, actually, let's tie this all into the impulsivity and temptation. It can be very tempting to blow off practice, to, put our homework aside and skip that for the day and just cram it as we are on the bus to get to school. I never did that myself because I don't know how you do homework on the bus, but generally I got my homework done. I did, however, when I was a senior in high school, cut calculus once or twice and went to my friend's house and partied. It didn't go well. I didn't pass the AP exam. I barely passed calculus. What did I learn from that? I need to be at class. I need to put more work in. And it ended up being good for me because in the long run, I went to college and I understood what I was doing, whereas I wasn't getting there. But it's very easy to blow things off and to be tempted by things that look more fun. But it never ends well. It can be very easy if you are struggling with a pyramid or a stunt and you had a rough day. Maybe you got in a fight with your boyfriend or your mom didn't want you to wear something and she's grounded you and, has been yelling at you. And you get to practice and you're like, all this pent up anger. And it'd be very easy to be impulsive and like lash out at your teammate or your partner and just rip them upside the head and really be angry at them. But that doesn't help the situation. It doesn't make the stunting any safer. It doesn't make you guys be on good terms. And it doesn't make your day get any better when you are just lashing out. It's easy to be impulsive. It's easy to be tempted to, chase after something else, even chasing after trophies. That can be a very, that can be exactly what we want. We're just doing this for the trophy. Instead of, let's look at the wisdom in this. Let's look at the understanding, let's be better at what we're doing. Let's understand why we're doing this, that we're building a team, that we are creating health and wellness for our bodies. We are doing work to make everything come together and put it out there on the floor. Maybe we win a shiny object. That's great. But the process and the learning that comes from being part of a team is what makes it all worthwhile and makes it more enjoyable. If you're a parent or a coach, it can be very easy to be quick to yell at your kids and yell at your team because they didn't do something right. When I was coaching, there was 2 instances where kids were acting up, and they were showing up late. They were mouthing off. They were calling me names. That was high school, and in college they approached and they weren't calling me names to my face, but they were not happy with where things were going, and they were lashing out at me, like telling me how terrible of a coach I was. Now, number one, it didn't make me feel good, but most of all, it didn't bode well for them either. They got kicked off the team. The high school got kicked off the team for that year, and it created a lot of animosity on the team towards them. And in college, kicked me off the team. I walked away, which that was impulsive on my end, and I regret that immensely. But I kept my mouth shut, and I was like, fine, I'm walking away. And they were punished by not being able to go to tournaments and other events, and not being, or they were able to go, but they weren't able to do anything because they didn't have a coach on site. So the reaction that I had to both of them was not good as a coach. Like, I kicked the girl off instead of saying, let's sit down and talk about this. Let's, figure this out. Let's work this out. This particular girl, two girls actually, well, one girl had a medical issue that had I been able to listen to her and understand and learn what was going on, I might have been able to help her get past, the anger of it all. Maybe I couldn't have helped her get past that, but I could have understood and not reacted. And same thing with my team. Like, had I actually sat and listened more and encouraged them to come to me with a solution, so that I could learn, the whole process, I would have felt better about the ending. They would have felt better, and the whole process would have been better. And maybe I'd still be coaching there now. Probably not. Anyways, it's quick. It's easy. It's our reaction. But if we can reel ourselves in and not act impulsively and not be tempted to lash out, and we can understand, and we can learn and gain some wisdom from whatever circumstance is happening in that day, it can definitely make life a whole lot better. And those shiny objects will feel that much better in the long run. So there's Proverbs 7. If you want to hear more, tomorrow's Proverbs 8. So please subscribe and like. And if this resonates with you, share it out to somebody who might need to hear, that how to react different. Have a conversation with your kids about it and your teammates. How can we be better humans and not be acting impulsively and really react better in general. All right. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow.